Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are seeing my face for the first time, I am Eddy. I'm filming from Nigeria and I film about lifestyle, health and career. Please do well to check out some of my other videos, and if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on all the good stuff. So today, as you guys can tell from the title, I'm going to be sharing tips about how to study and assimilate fast. These are the tips that work for me, so I want to be sharing them today. Who knows, it might work for you. If this is something you like to watch, then sit back, relax and join me. First of all, there is this mistake that we all make, which is me having at the back of my mind that okay, I have the exam to write in the next 2 months. I want to read for this exam, and after this exam I don't actually need this topic again, and that is why we tend to just read, write the exam and forget about the topic. There was actually a time that I read one particular topic. In my mind at that period, I thought that oh, I understood this topic, and after the exam I forgot about the topic. So I was in this gathering where this particular topic was asked as a question, and in my mind I was like, oh, I should be able to answer this question. Unfortunately, I couldn't answer the question, and the person that asked this question actually gave out money to the person that answered the question. So I was so pained that, and I actually read this topic like a month ago. So that is where my mistake comes from. I actually read the topic, but I didn't understand the topic. I didn't assimilate the topic. I only read for the exam. So for us to study and assimilate, there are a lot of things we need to do. So I have a note here with me where I already jot out some of the things that I'm going to be saying today. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm trying to pick out the points that I want to share. So the first thing here is, what is reading? Reading is actually going through a gathered information, but not with the mindset of me trying to remember it. While studying is also going through a gathered information with the mindset or with the concept of me remembering it. So what is assimilation? Assimilation is incorporation or absorption of knowledge into my mind. So the difference between studying and reading is that when you're studying, you need time, you need more time, you need to be devoted, and you need dedication into trying to understand the whole concept and information that you've gathered, with the aim of me trying to remember everything that I've studied today, tomorrow and in the nearest future. So now I want to study. How do I go about it? So the first thing is me writing out the topics that I've been taught in school as a student. I have a lot of topics that I want to go through. So the first thing is to write them out and then take them one after the other.
Just like I've said, so the first thing you have to do is to write out the topics. So just like the way I'm doing here, I'm writing out all the topics that I have to study.
Let's say for instance, for today I want to study liver function test. So the first thing I want to do is write out liver function test and then go through the subtopics and itemize it.
As you guys can see, I'm trying to go through the topic and list out the subtopics under this particular topic that I want to study.
After itemizing the subtopics under the topic that I want to read, another thing that I want to do is to skim through this topic. Let me even go through this topic. What is even inside this topic? So I'm going to just skim through it, go through my textbook, go through my notes, and then find out some keywords that are used in this. So if there is diagram, I tend to focus on the diagram to try and understand what the diagram is illustrating. And if there are graphs, I'm going to have to focus on the graph tables just to get the picture of what they are trying to say in the graph.
This is me trying to skim through this particular topic. I can see graph, I can see a table, and I'm just going to focus on it.
After I've skimmed through my whole topic, another thing that I want to do is to try and link each subtopic to each other. I have to understand that the structure is what is going to lead me to the function. So if I don't understand the structure, I might not understand what the function is. So now that I've linked the subtopics to each other, then I start to read. Now I'm reading, I'm trying to read, and I'm also trying to study. So I'm not going to rush myself. I'm going to have to give myself time, and that is why I am going to need a study plan. So before you start to study, you need a daily study plan for yourself. So you go over your schedule, so you don't break yourself out. So I'm going to like say, okay, if I'm going to be studying today for 2 hours, I want to study 2 topics, and I must make sure that, okay, I am actually studying and not reading. So if you already have a study plan, you're not going to rush yourself, because if you are trying to study, you actually need time, and you have to be devoted to what you are doing. So there is not going to be like, okay, something is distracting me, something is not working fine, and all that. The next thing that I want to do is to go through each subtopic. Now that I've started with my reading, I'm going to have to start making some jottings from it. Like, there is actually a concept that says, if you are studying or if you are reading and you are jotting, when you are writing, you tend to like assimilate faster than when you are just going through your book without jotting down something. Okay, let's say I am reading this particular topic and I'm jotting out some things that I'm grabbing from this thing. By the time I want to go through it again, I'm going to understand that, okay, I wrote this thing myself and I remember how I was writing it. So that helps a lot. Another thing that I'm going to do after I'm done with reading, after I have tried to study the whole topic, after I have tried to like gain something, the next thing that I want to do is to put myself in a situation like I'm a teacher or a lecturer now. So I'm going to like imagine myself teaching students. So you are going to try to teach someone, either in your mind or you just try to act. So sometimes when you see people standing on their own trying to like communicate as if they are talking to somebody, meanwhile they are trying to read, don't make jest of them, they are trying to assimilate. Okay, so you're going to put yourself in that shoe, trying to like teach somebody about it. You can actually look for an actual person and say, okay, please, can you just sit down and listen to me? Then you try to like explain what you've read to this person. And if you try to blab or you stammer, don't judge yourself. Then you know that you have to go back to your book again and go through it again. So now that you are done with the practical, you've practicalized it, you've pictured the whole thing on your mind, the next thing you want to do is to like close your book and try to set a question. This is still you trying to be a teacher to yourself. You try to set out some questions that you think as a lecturer you can actually set for your students. So now that you've set the question, the next thing you want to do is to answer this question without opening your book. Don't judge yourself. If you cannot answer the question fluently like you're supposed to, that means you still have to like go through it again. But then you understand that you've put yourself to test and you've answered the question, and now that you've gone through it, you understand the fact that, okay, I think I've understand the function than the structure now. Then you focus on the structure. So another point here is me trying to give out acronyms to big grammar inside the book. Sometimes we go through books and then to read or to pronounce some words is actually like, it's all me trying to read a definition with so many grammar. So if I'm trying to like read something and I feel like, okay, I should assimilate this fast, one thing that I'm going to do to help myself is to actually give acronyms. Okay, so let's say liver function test. For me not to be cramming liver function test, or for me not to be saying liver function test all the time, I'm just going to shorten it down to LFT. So I know that as soon as I say LFT, I understand that I am talking about liver function. So now that you've gone through your topic, you've skimmed through, you've asked yourself questions, you've practicalized it. When you are practicalizing, you can actually use your hand gesture to just make a kind of drama. This is you still trying to assimilate. After you've done all this, after you've answered the question, you've marked the answer, another thing that you want to do for yourself is to give yourself a break so you don't break out. You see, when you sit down studying for a long period of time, it tends to like stress you out, you work yourself out, and then you tend to like start forgetting things that you've read. But if you are giving yourself a break, that is why I said you need a study plan. So I already know that from 12 to 2 p.m. that is when I'm going to read. As soon as it is 2 o'clock, I'm giving myself a break. So now that I have studied, I've understood a lot of things for today, I'm giving myself a break. So another thing that you want to do is to treat past questions. Ask people that have gone through these stages before. Ask people that are your senior, or people that, or you check online for questions. And then the first thing you want to do as soon as you are seeing this question is to answer those questions without opening your book. Okay, I'm collecting this past question, and the first thing I'm doing is going through these questions and answering them in my mind, even without writing. Let me just see if I can actually answer these questions. This will even help me more to know my stage on what I've read in the past. With this, I think I've been able to share tips on how to study and assimilate fast. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, don't forget to drop your comments, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Next time that you are going to be seeing my face again, stay cool, stay calm, and be happy. Bye guys. After itemizing the topics and the subtopics under the topic that I want to read,